With all due respect to former President Obama, he has no idea what he's talking about. The decision to fire Jimmy Kimmel and to cancel his show came from executives at ABC. That has now been reported, and I can assure you it did not come from the White House, and there was no pressure given from the President of the United States. And how do I know that, Kaylee? Because I was with the President of the United States when this news broke in the United Kingdom. We were enjoying the beautiful and spectacular state visit that was put forth by the royal family and the Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer. And I actually brought this news to President Trump's attention. He had no idea this was happening. It was a decision that was made by ABC because Jimmy Kimmel chose to knowingly lie to his audience on his program about the death of a highly respected man when our country is in a state of mourning. That was a decision that he made, and he is now facing a consequence for that decision and for that lie. And while I will add, and President Trump is right about this, Jimmy Kimmel's ratings are in the gutter. And this was probably also a business decision on behalf of ABC. I can't speak for them. I can speak on behalf of the President of the United States. And while he's pleased with this decision, we had nothing to do with it. It was ABC's decision, and it was certainly the right one by them.
Karolina, in a statement, said it had no communication with the FCC or any other government agency before making the decision to pull Jimmy Kimmel live. Sinclair, another broadcaster, wants an apology from Kimmel and also a donation made to Charlie Foundation. As for when the show will go back on, if ever, that is still unclear. Though, Tony, there are media reports indicating that Disney is hopeful for its return.
Yes, few days ago, Obama came out in defense of Jimmy, accusing the Trump administration of canceling his show. Now the White House actually did something to clarify what people didn't know, but there is something more important. These Hollywood people are insane. When you take a look at this, Mark, we saw Jimmy's show was cancelled. The United States government is now suppressing the freedom of speech. Think of yourself living under the Taliban, because that is where we are. Rob replied to him, Mark continuing crabs on half of America, and no one stopped him from spewing this nonsense. Mark's absurd suggestion that we live under the Taliban is just another liberal hogwash third punch out of the common senseless brain of this predictable Democrat whistle. That is the truth. These people can't even stop causing this division.
Grandpa,
Yeah,
what do you think of Jimmy Kimmel getting fired?
well, I think it was probably the best thing. It should have been done 8 years ago, after the first week he was on the air. But he's a typical super left-wing liar. He's trying to say that this guy that killed Charlie Kirk is a MAGA, is a Republican. Now, that is so stupid that even Jimmy Kimmel fans, if they're both of them, or well, there might be three, that they wouldn't believe. That is total stupidity. And another thing about the guy, late night guys are supposed to be funny. He's about as funny as a broken hip. You know what I mean? I mean, this guy is being replaced by Family Feud. And I don't know if that'll work, because I think Family Feud might be too intellectual for the people that were watching that show.
Grandpa is right. I want to show you something. This guy comparing what is happening now to the Taliban. I really wish if he can spend 1 week in Afghanistan, maybe he will understand and appreciate his own country.
We saw Jimmy Kimmel's show was canceled. We don't know what the reasons are, really. It's very cloudy and murky. I don't understand what's happening right now. My industry doesn't understand what's happening right now. But what they do understand is our freedom of speech is being attacked. I heard Mark Maron today talk about it. He said, you guys were so afraid of being canceled. You went out and you screamed and you yelled about being canceled. But the cancellation was coming from people who didn't like what you had to say. It was coming from people who didn't agree with what you were saying and were speaking out about it. This cancellation is the United States government coming and taking your voice away from you. It is the United States government that is now suppressing the freedom of speech. It is the United States government, not your neighbors, not someone on social media. It is the government doing it now. And that's where we all have to come together. Because authoritarian regimes, fascist regimes have to degrade our freedoms more and more over time until we're living the smallest, the most frightened, the most secretive lives. Think of yourselves living under the Taliban, because that's where we're headed. So, I know it's scary. And I know that there's a lot of doubt. But now is the time for us to find our heroism.
Yes, when you take a look at this, Hillary Clinton says Trump pulling Jimmy off the air is about silencing critics, not comedy. He's canceling his opponent, not jokes. That isn't about FFC rules. It is about raw political control. This is what Hillary Clinton said. I don't know why these people will continue to spew this. I want to see the evidence that proves that Trump did this. I think I'm going to do a whole segment. I'm going to bring this video. People now coming out to say, oh, Trump did this, that. I don't understand. Yeah.
I just wanted to jump on and say some shit. It feels like the country is dying. At least that's how it feels for me. I don't know how it feels for you, but for me, it feels like my country is dying. And it's hard to know what to do with that. And I know it feels unbearable, like watching something sacred just bleed out in front of you. Well, you're just watching and not being able to do anything while others kind of cheer and look the other way. So I just want to say, if you're feeling any of that too, it's real. It isn't political. This is personal. It's emotional. It's existential, and it's grief, and it's love, and it's deep love for a country that was never perfect, but always promised something better, right? Like, I don't know. And now it's just, it feels like it's turning its back even on the promise.
It has always been a thing. When things like this are happening, they will always focus on Trump. They don't go deep into looking into what is going on. Some says, oh, Trump is now, going after people. Free speech is not there. He has taken away everything. Conservatives used to act like they are for free speech. They are the one now taking away speech. That is what I see with these people.
But tonight, we are all Jimmy Kimmel. I still have a show, though, right? Okay, good. Yesterday, after threats from Trump's FCC chair, ABC yanked Kimmel off the air indefinitely. That is blatant censorship.
Because he says he has a team of fact checkers that don't allow him to say lies, and that if he errs, he'll go out there and apologize and clear it up. But he was entirely wrong.
If you remember, when Trump was banned on social media, this is what Kamala posted. She was in support. She was extremely happy. Like, oh, Trump needs to be banned on Twitter. Now, this is what she's sending out. What we are witnessing is an outright abuse of power. This administration is attacking critics and using fear as a weapon to silence anyone who will speak out. Media corporations, from television networks to newspaper, are capitulating to this threat. We cannot dare to be silenced or complacent in the face of this frontal assault on free speech. This is Kamala Harris.
The FCC.
I want them to stop fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Well,
I don't like being threatened. I don't like people running up on me.
Entertain Americans. It's a part of who we are.
Because that is really something that didn't happen before.
Does anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's some drama, or at the very least some tea in and ready for Joy, Sunny, Anna, and Whoopi to give their perspectives on what happened to Jimmy. And guess what? They said nothing.
I'm going to say one.
look, there are certain rules of free speech that we must all abide by. But in case anyone needs a refresher, we're going to go over the rules again.
He does not have a right to have a television show where he lies his ass off to the American people.
There are repercussions to spreading lies.
Somebody to get up there, not give a speech about
Barack Obama's black, and like that actually is a bit. No.